Oh. Fuck!
It's Friday.
Yeah, it's welcome to the Chopcast. We may not appear to be this way today, but we are Braves fans. And
We're both wearing purple, right?
and yeah, Will is a somewhat Reds fan. If you're new to the podcast, my name is Griffin. This is Sam.
I'm Sam.
That's Will on the bottom,
That's Will.
where he should
Yeah.
be. Well, anyway, the Braves pooped their pants, and we had a 3-game series set up, and then played 2 because it is raining every single day in Georgia right now for the next week or so. Which I guess bodes well for us being away, but also not because we are going away until the 26th of September. So, yeah. Both of these games, I feel like they just kind of felt like stress dreams, where you felt you were reeled in the whole time, and you're like, oh, we still come back and win this, and then we showed that we could, and then just didn't finish it up. And then we also are known for not being good in extras. Pretty disappointing when your runner that starts at second doesn't even move. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's unfortunate that we've dropped 4 of 6 to the Rockies throughout the season. Obviously, baseball works in very mysterious ways sometimes, and that can just happen. But the Rockies are 22-51 on the road.
Yeah.
And the fact that we lost both games is very unfortunate. Obviously, we'll get into both the games, but I think the second game alone, we had 10 hits, they had 5, and we lost in extra innings. These are games, we just can't be dropping at this point. Fortunately, we got a Phillies loss against the Cubs, so the magic number goes down. But the standings still kind of are up in the air. It's almost like a race to see who loses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I put on. I tweeted, follow us on Twitter. We have, I think, 7 followers on Twitter and Instagram. Whoop. Yeah, but yeah, I said that the NL East is the battle for who can lose the NL East rages on another day.
Yep.
I don't think I've seen a division like this. I think the best comparison was the NFC South in 2016 or something, whatever that was, where every team was below 500. And I
think 16 was the year we went to the Super Bowl.
Was it 15 or I can't remember which year it was.
I think it was either the 15 or 17 year, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
also NFC East deserves some recognition there.
Yeah.
Last season.
Well, yeah, that's true too. But I remember the Falcons were ended the year 6-10, and we were 1 game behind the Panthers to get into the playoffs, which was just a disgrace. This isn't as bad.
Yep.
But
not nearly.
When you're a team hovering around 500 and you even dip below 500 and you're still in the playoff hunt in the MLB, that's kind of sad.
I mean, yeah, the Mets I'm pretty sure are 72-75 right now. I could be off, but they're still in the race. I mean, obviously they're probably not gonna do anything, but
no. But yeah, the fact that they even have a playoff chance.
Pretty
cool. I just Will, what's your kind of take on the NL East the last couple weeks?
I mean, it's just sort of my thoughts on the season overall. I thought there'd be three strong teams. Like I didn't think. I mean, obviously, no one thought the Giants were going to be half as good as they are.
Yeah.
Um, and so I was expecting two NL East teams to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And facing whoever, one of them in the wild card facing one of the Dodgers and Padres. But no, it's messy. I mean, there's always the question of like, what would have happened if Ronald Acuna was healthy by this time in the season? I mean, there could be a bigger gap,
Mm.
or it could just be the same thing. I'd say bigger gap though.
Yeah.
But it's messy. It's just nuts.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
I think like the Mets have kind of shown that their injuries didn't even really matter, which is kind of what I was thinking when they were winning those games with the injuries that they had, like
Mm.
early first half of the season. I was just thinking like they're gonna mess this up somehow, where when their
Yeah.
starters come in, they're gonna become a worse team, which is what happened.
Yes.
And then they go out and trade for a strikeout machine for their fifth ranked prospect, who's apparently a stud, and make things worse on themselves. But at the beginning of the season, I was definitely very worried about them, and I feel like they could come back again next year because they have good players.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
The Phillies, like, I've never seen them as a good team. Like, they've gone on runs and whatever, but at the beginning of the year, like I even with how the Marlins got into the playoffs last year, it was
That's right. I forgot about that.
yeah, it was a 60-game stretch, so it's anything can really happen. But I was like, when I was like projecting the NL East standings, like there was a lot of times that I was like, Phillies are going to be the worst team in the NL East. They're going to be behind the Marlins. There's just not much reason to think that they are a good team, even when they produce. Like they have Bryce Harper. Reese Hoskins is out for the rest of the year. I'm pretty sure. And
They
he's
have Real
like
Muto.
and Real Muto, and then like Didi Gregorius has had his worst year ever.
They're paying him $14 million a year.
Yeah,
Well,
to hit,
just by the way, yeah.
yeah, hit 220 and have an OPS at like 600 something.
Yeah, that's.
They
and
also statistically have the worst defense in baseball.
yeah,
I mean, it's bad. It's
Yeah.
really
they're awful.
bad.
I remember like I turned on. I was like one night I was watching them play against the Diamondbacks because I was like, why are the Diamondbacks winning again at Philadelphia? And
No.
then I was watching the Padres Dodgers game, and then I switched over to that, and then I was like, the first thing I saw is just Didi dropping a pop fly in shallow field, and then and like you hear the announcers go, and it hits the ground.
Yeah,
Their bullpen
honestly,
is one of the worst in the league. Like the guy that they traded for, who's supposed to be solid for them, Ian Kennedy, is just giving up solo shots like Will Smith, like nobody's business in the ninth. He's blown a lot of saves since he's been in Philly. And then Archie Bradley came out. And now Ranger Suarez is starting games for him. So I don't even like.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was interesting.
I don't know
See
who.
Archie Bradley.
In all fairness to them, I mean, they do some things right. I mean, their offense is pretty good, and their starting pitching is honestly pretty solid, which I wasn't expecting. I mean, Zach Wheeler for a while there was considered like a dark horse Cy Young contender. I think some people still think of him that way. I don't really.
He's dipped
but
a little.
I mean,
it's gonna be sure.
yeah, but pretty damn good on those fronts.
Yeah.
And especially terrible division, so makes sense.
Yeah.
It just like I wonder what like the projections for next year are gonna be, which I mean don't really matter, but it's just like I feel like with the teams that were assembled, even including the Nationals this year still have the 7th highest OPS, but they have the like at this point, because they have no pitchers left, they have like the 23rd best ERA, which is
They
usually
have Eric
flipped.
Petty. What are you talking about?
That guy, I don't like to hate people just because of the way that they look, but I hate him. Just
based on appearance alone.
yeah,
Yeah,
just,
he's got a very like pointed face. You know,
if you turn if you turned a piece of fettuccine into a person, I feel like that's what he looks like.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, obviously, side note, but
And like every time that he gives up a bomb, he just like shrinks into a little ball.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, stand up like a man. You gave it up. Just face it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Just
Do we want to?
Yeah, go into the games.
Yeah, help. All right, sure.
Yeah, let's hop into the games. Let's hop into these great games.
Let's hop into the games.
So, game 1, bullet point number 1. Tukey should not start another game.
No.
Probably ever.
No.
Unless we have to have him start.
I love Tukey.
Oh yeah, he seems great.
We all love Tukey, but like, holy shit, this guy needs to be in the bullpen.
Yeah, he's not. I hate it. Like talking about the Sean Newcomb thing from last week too, where it's just like he shows that he can do stuff. I personally think that Sean Newcomb has more talent than Tukey and like can be a better pitcher. But in the same way, Tukey like he had 2 games this year where he struck out 10 and 9 and gave up either 1 run or 0. He had like a 7-inning shutout. It's like he shows that he can, but I think it's been more kind of like that first game that he had that 7-inning shutout, like he just incorporated a curveball, and like that wasn't on his like record, like they didn't study that or whatever, and
so they weren't expecting it.
And then it wasn't really that great. Like he was landing some like getting away with some hangers. So like still saying that I like Tukey, I feel like as a starting pitcher, he just kind of like scammed his way into that role sometimes, and just found ways to keep putting himself there. Which, I mean, like, if you're wanting to be a starting pitcher, that you got to find some ways. Like, some people, the thing that they do will be, like, even if you're a reliever, they'll just do fast pitch to get people off guard, or they'll do, like the Johnny Cueto, like, shimmy stuff just to distract people. But, like, with Tukey, his stats on his first time through the order this year, hitters like have I think it's like a 1, and I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass, but like I'm pretty, it's around here. Hitters have like a 170 average against him, and then the second time through, it's like 300, and then the third time through, it's like 370.
I mean, it's unfortunate. Like, obviously, it was great to see him come back from his rehab and pitch 7 shutout innings and do honestly pretty well for that first stretch, but I think there's been a little bit of a hangover from that where we're almost like duped into thinking that, Tukey might be the answer, but he's not. And then obviously, like, do we know where Drew Smiley's been? Is he on IL or?
I don't think so.
Because I feel like we haven't seen him in a while, and that, I mean, I don't know. I guess as it goes in the postseason, you don't have to have like a super robust 5-person starting pitching rotation, but about 5.
At this point, it's not really an issue, other than just like he should not be starting. 100%. I would rather honestly go with Drew Smiley if we have to, just because he's been doing it more often this year. But or just try a bullpen game depending on how many people we have rested up. But
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of having like a Drew Smiley just pitch like 4 innings. Like that's, you do that and then you do bullpen through the rest of the game. But obviously with fatigue and, long road trips and everything, you don't want to tire anyone out. Yeah. Another note I had from this game that was a little frustrating was I believe in the bottom of the 4th inning, we hit the pitcher spot and like Tukey batted. It's just so that he could pitch the 5th inning, and they had Jacob Webb, warming up, and And then, of course, Tukey lets up 2 runs, no outs in the 5th inning, and then we bring in Jacob Webb anyway. So it's almost like those runs were entirely avoidable, and we could have avoided it. And obviously, hindsight's 2020. But I did notice that, and it was a little frustrating. That's kind of why I bring up the whole 4-inning rule.
Yeah, I think you're like anything further away than 30 games out from the postseason. I think that's the right call. You want to keep your starter going in the game, but at this point, when you have somebody like Jacob Webb who's doing really well and Jesse Chavez can come in, even though he gave up 1, but you have your bullpen rested up. I don't get, especially when he had that many pitches coming into the 5th. I don't see it. I don't see the purpose there either. But yeah, I mean that call can go either way. The main we out hit them both games. Just in the first game, it was only by 1. But both games were just the hits are there and the production is there. It's just we're getting out of sync again, I feel like. And I think this series we were 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Will, what are you smiling about? What were you smiling about?
I'm just looking at the stats, and I wasn't smiling about that. I was smiling. Yeah. Someone walked across the hall, but what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I was just going to build off that point. Yeah, I just looking straight at the stats. Some of the guys Freddie went 1 for 5 in the second game. I think that's just a sign of possibly getting out of sync, like you said. Not everyone's firing on all cylinders, which is fine for the time being. The Braves do have a 3-game lead on the Phillies, so there's a little bit of wiggle room. But you can't let that slip into October. It's fine to make the mistake now, I guess, in some aspects. You don't want to see it, obviously, but I was just corroborating that point, Griffin.
Yeah.
I will say, I think a lot of the the in syncness of the Braves bats right now. I feel like we got to switch the lineup a little. I've seen Travis d'Arnaud in the 5 or 6 spot when realistically he should be in the 7 or 8, and Eddie Rosario batting in the 7 or 8 spot, he should be in the 5 or 6. He has been absolutely on fire.
Travis had a tough game. He went 0 for 5.
Who'd you say?
Yeah.
Travis went 0 for 5 that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I saw a hint of kind of changing things around a little more. I think Snitker is very much a go by tradition type of person.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not gonna change things up as much as Kevin Cash. But I think that is what we need to do, especially when you have this many weapons. Is go with the hot bats, put them up first. Don't just put someone. Don't put Swanson ahead of Rosario just because of the pedigree or whatever. Because Dansby's been kind of cold recently. He got a hit in both games, but not as much production.
Yeah, and Dansby gets those hot and cold streaks too. So putting a finger on that and recognizing when it's happening, I think needs to happen more often.
Yeah. And I think when you put him down further too, he kind of gets amped up.
Yeah, exactly. He whips into shape a little more.
But yeah, speaking back just on game 1 again, and really, I feel like I don't even feel like we have to talk about these 2 games separately because they felt like just the same thing.
Oh yeah,
they felt like the same thing. I will say the most encouraging thing that's been an upward trend is I love our bullpen right now. It has been so reliable. There's only one run from the bullpen that comes out of this series, which is from Chavez,
That's
and
right.
don't mind that with 11 pitches and 7 strikes.
Yeah.
But Sean Newcomb again. That was a weird call to keep him in the 8th and the 9th.
For both the back end innings.
But the fact that he went 36 pitches, and he looked really solid that whole time. Something I was gonna say, I don't know if I said this last time, or because last time I was talking about how he kind of changed up his pitching and whatever, and like he can pump in like 100 whenever he wants. So I noticed, so I like said that, and then I watched the game that night when he was pitching. I was like, he's not getting anything above 96. Like, is he is his speed going down? Like, is he not? Does he not have the same stuff? But I think what he's been doing has been focusing less on speed and more on control. So he dropped those 4 miles an hour because I mean his main weakness has been walking people. He only walked one person the first game in 2 innings, which is it's still a walk, but I think that he's kind of tried to shift some things up a little bit because he was relying heavily on his fastball earlier in the year, and I think he had like no control and was trying to make his case for the bullpen again by increasing his speed a ridiculous amount. But then he just started walking people again after they knew not to swing at the high strike.
Yeah.
Which
he was locating. Like that I think I tweeted it on our account. Like there's nothing scarier than Sean Newcomb's like high fastball on a 2-strike count because he was getting everybody with that.
Yeah. And it's the fact now is like that so he's dropped his speed a little bit. He's focused more on like accuracy, where that ball's going, and he's also he very low key back at least back in like when he was pitching for us in 2018 has one of the largest vertical drops of any pitcher with his curveball.
Yeah, he's huge. He's all the way up here and then it just drops down.
But he's used that again, but the one pitch that I'm most impressed with is his slider right now. It is like unhittable. He had multiple that either like he had, and I think he has a changeup too. I think I saw one. I might be wrong. It might have been a slider, but because it came to the outside. But he had multiple pitches that started like on the outside of the part of the plate, or like outside of the plate, and then came inside, and like the hitter had no chance. Like it was not a strike.
It's like almost like a back foot slider, where it's like you just even if you're swinging at it, it's a blur and it's going past you.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do with him. I think I'm gonna see. I said it last time. I'm unsure if he like if his contract is over this year or not. It says he's a free agent in 2025. What?
Very interesting.
Who is this we're talking about?
Sean Newcomb. He's one of our relievers.
Mm.
Okay, Will, you probably
he's
know.
Probably still under. Yeah, he's probably still under team. How old is he?
He's like 28.
I was gonna say he's gotta be late 20.
Yeah.
1 second. Yeah, he's probably still.
He's got
under team control.
He's got 3 arbitration years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, then he's in the middle of the renewable years right now.
Okay.
So basically, that means the Braves are paying him dirt cheap, and then arbitration, he gets 3 of those, and that's when he makes more money. Yeah, basically, he's not. The Braves have him for however long till the end of that 3rd arbitration year.
Okay.
Unless they like cut him or something, which I don't know much about that.
Yeah, I think.
I mean,
I think if you take the last 3 weeks out of consideration, he would have definitely been cut. But he's only getting paid $600,000 a year.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But
yeah, you all were the Braves were paying Ronald Acuna that Isn't that nuts? At one point, they were paying him that.
We're basically paying him that like now, but
yeah. Now he's getting. Is it
I'm just kidding, Ronald. Don't leave. Don't leave.
$100 million for 10 years for one of the top 3 players in the league. And then Ozzy is 7 years, $35 million.
Come on, dude.
That's the one
like,
that's screwed up. That one's bad.
It's like Scottie Pippen on like the '80s Bulls,
but
or
like
the '90s Bulls, just getting absolutely fleeced.
Both of them were like, especially Ozzy. People try to make it like a race thing or like a ethnicity thing, and they were both like, this is a lot of money. Like we want to be on a winning team. We love being here. Like
one of the Reds radio announcers got in trouble a few years ago because he was talking about how the Braves sort of took advantage because Ozzy didn't understand. I don't know what it is about Reds announcers. I don't know what they put in the water.
Also, the wild side note, but did y'all see that Nick Castellanos hit a home run to left field to make it 4-0 on 9/11? Like, what? You can't make this up.
The Reds are America's team.
He's like a villain.
The Reds are America's team.
America's team, bro. Oh my god.
Gosh,
let's all take everyone on Twitter the day before was saying like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
We have to take a field trip to Kansas City at some point.
Oh my god.
It's the capital, you know. Oh, well, yeah. We don't have too much time left, cause Sam's going to his first day of his job.
Day in the office.
Beyond Meats.
Beyond Meat.
You should ask them if they can sponsor us.
I will. I'll ask him. I'll say.
Make
Beyond Meat. Big jokes. Beyond Meat guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love non-meat meat personally.
It's pretty good. Check it out.
Yeah. Maybe.
Free advertising right now. Maybe. Any other final notes?
Another game. Well, he didn't lose this one, but it's another game. Another not win for him. He didn't do very well in this game. He only gave up 2 runs and 4 hits, but he did the young pitcher thing of pitching a ridiculous amount of pitches.
Yeah. Insane.
I hope he's not losing confidence. Like I said, I think he has a great mental state. It's a lot of like big dog energy.
Bit dog. You can't even roll with
the bit dogs. Yeah, this second game, like, love Rosario. I think he should be a little higher up in the lineup right now. But regardless, it's pretty freaking sad when your only RBIs are both out of your 8-hole.
Yeah.
Can't carry the team on his back, especially when his batting stance is like an elderly old man.
Kind of like sitting down a little. It's like, how does he get power from that?
Yeah, every time he stands up, I'm like, we traded for this guy?
Yeah.
It's like, he hit 30-something home runs? Does he have arthritis?
Something's good.
But,
yeah.
Big
series.
So Larry's been producing some, but, like, it just seems like, was it the bottom of I think it was the bottom of the 9th that he came up in both games with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and then the first game, his first pitch, pop fly.
Meatball. Can of corn,
and then I was like, when he stepped up the second time, I was like, okay, Jorge, don't swing at the first pitch and then pop it up to center field like you did last time, and then first pitch pops it up. I'm like, no, and then it was a foul ball, and then
a little too much home run or bust from our Bravos, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I think this series against the Giants is going to be a tell for sure. We're going to see if we're a playoff team or not. And yeah, I guess I'm looking forward to it, but a little scared for sure.
Yeah. If we get swept by the Giants, one, it's giant panic time. Not for them, the Giants.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
us,
yeah.
giant panic time. Two, it's really starting to show me maybe I don't even want to be in the postseason. I don't want to see us just get pooped on by the Brewers.
Yeah.
And then three, it's like maybe we aren't even better than the stupid Phillies who lose games to trash teams and are just overall bad, and I hate them. So
yeah,
I guess to close, all I really have to say is I don't know.
Nothing on our end.
Damn
Nothing on our end.
Well, I farted into the mic. But yeah, follow us on Instagram at chop.cast. Follow us on Twitter at chopcast.
Chopcast. Got it there.
Follow us on we can make a LinkedIn page. I don't know, YouTube. We have a YouTube where these videos go. But yeah, Spotify, whatever. I don't know, email us. I don't know. Okay. All right. Giant series coming up. Hold on. Let's see who we're playing against, who we're pitching against.
Logan Webb.
F. Oh my god. I guess it doesn't really matter.
He's nuts.
No.
He's ridiculous.
He looks like a little troll.
Yeah, he does. It makes it so much worse.
So much worse.
That's like I was about to say. He's another person. I don't know anything about him, but just the way he looks. Like, hey, I don't like you.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Yeah, Logan Webb. Then we're getting undecided, and then Anthony
Sclafani, probably.
Yeah. Which we torched last time we played him.
Mm-hmm.
That was
and we got.
Yeah, but he's phenomenal in at home because he just gives up a bunch of fly balls, and they have a big outfield.
Yeah, but if you think of it this way,
I don't know.
John Gray and Anthony Senzatella are both really bad away, and they looked really good against us at Atlanta. So doesn't always.
Yep, you're onto something.
Yep. All right.
But it's Ian Anderson, and then who else after that?
Well, Charlie Morton, then Max Fried.
That's as good as it's gonna get. So
you want? Yeah, that's as good as it's gonna get. So
that's what we going out there. Just,
get it done. Game's on West Coast time too, so I get to watch it at normal hours.
Yeah, I will. I'll try to watch it at points. We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. See y'all in a couple days. I hope that I'm still alive and that I don't kill myself.
Baseball does this to a man.
Griffin,
I love the Braves.
You can't be saying that on a podcast. You can't be saying that.
I said I hope, Will. I obviously don't want it to happen. All right.
Oh my God.
See y'all in a couple of days. See ya.